Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fatal1ty $5,000 Grand Finals Tournament. We are still in the quarterfinals, but we do have our teams EG versus Monomatic Esports, and it is Monomatic Esports. They only register as Monomatic, so I apologize for all that. But I'm here. Phantom Lord, you here, dude?
I am here, yes.
Alright then, we are ready to go for this next matchup. The music that I was playing there from the band named Forever It, good guys, enjoy their stuff. They play LoL, so kind of fit, I thought. But we do have another Facebook contest for you guys to win. Now, the previous winners all won themselves headsets as well as sound cards, but we're going to up the ante here. We're going to give you a motherboard, a power supply, a sound card, as well as those headsets for this next question. So guys, you know the drill. We need to go over to the Facebook page. We need to go to Fatal1ty Gaming Gear. It's in the chat. You can hit that up, and we should have another question there from Fatal1ty, you know, the guy throwing this tournament for you, and it's just free swag for you. So you answer the question, random winner wins, and we'll know who that will be after this match. So the question: in 2009, Fatal1ty set a Guinness World Record for the most frags in an hour. How many frags did Fatal1ty get? Go find the answer on the Fatal1ty website of fatal1ty.com/about. Get the answer, post it in the Facebook. You could be running home with basically a new computer. Easy as that. And we already do have those two winners. I think it was Nathaniel Villman and James Salerno. They've already won themselves headsets as well as those sound cards, so we're just upping the ante a little bit, and we got like so many more prizes to give away. So we're going to give away more today, more tomorrow, and this is all just free for you guys, so I think that's pretty good. We're ready to go for this game, and you know, give us a little bit of background here, Mr. Fanlord.
So we have two top teams here. Mono Esports, a team that did fairly well in a couple tournaments. They did have their name to fame, unfortunately, from that drama between M5. They did post a video apologizing for the bad manner and poor sportsmanship from the members of M5. But they have done fairly well. They do have a pretty strong team. All of the members have played with each other for quite a bit. They are fairly new, and of course they're going to be going up against EG, the new EG. We did have a bunch of information being posted recently about what's been going on with the team. Of course, Dyrus has left EG to play for TSM, as we saw from the first match of the day, and TSM did take that win. So this new EG lineup, they have two new members. They do have Mashme, which is a fairly known jungler as far as solo queue. He's a great player and has proven to do really well in past said situations. And we do have Kaleki D, who I believe is going to be playing can be playing jungler as well. I don't know what roles these guys will be playing exactly. They have swapped up a few things quite a bit. I mean, Westrise could be playing AD or could be playing top. I know Salz for a fact is playing mid lane, and Nyat is playing support, obviously, because those two players are playing roles of what they are known for. So EGA, really great team. They are known for their sort of antics as far as taking second place in quite a bit of tournaments. They had never really taken a first place, but they might actually get a shot in this Fatal1ty tournament. I was just before, I believe Mashme is going to be playing AD. Westrice is going to be playing top. Kaleki D is going to be jungle, and Salz, of course, mid with Nyat as support. So yes, that is just the right information. Sorry about that, guys. I did find that out right now. So this should be an interesting game between both teams. Both teams are fairly new as far as their lineups, so we could go either way. All of these players I am familiar of. They're all top players, all great players, and have all unique strategies for the roles they play. So we should see some nice stuff. I think Mono Esports might have the advantage as far as team composition and building up new and unique comps to deal with whatever EG might pick. But they do have first pick. Sometimes first pick is not the best option. I do know in a few tournaments on my team, personally, first pick is not something we've wanted because that first pick we can follow through with our next 2 picks for sealing the deal as far as the support and the jungler. But we will see here in just a moment going into the picks and bans. Is there anything you would like to say, Jester, or should I go ahead and start rolling out with these picks and bans?
No, I think we're all good. The third contest is now underway. Again, hit up that facebook.com/Fatal1ty Gaming Gear. Answer the question. You could be running home with potentially like a brand new computer. I think all you need is like a RAM and a monitor and you're set to go. So, you know, big thanks to the sponsors doing all this. We got Sound Blaster, we got OCZ, Newegg, AS Rock, and of course Fatal1ty, who is here in the stream talking to you guys. He was on here earlier. We're probably going to get him up here again. So, you know, big thanks. We got 4,000 people here hanging out on a Saturday night, so it's good to see from you guys. And, you know, Phantom, it's all yours, dude.
All right, so taking a look at these picks and bans, on the blue side, we do have Mono Esports, and on purple, we do have the new lineup of EG. So first bans coming out, we do have a Lee Sin from Mono Esports. Lee Sin, an overall strong jungler and really strong top laner. He's just being thrown on the game. And we do have a follow-up banned by EG for Janna. Janna, as we all know, arguably the strongest support in the game currently, and EG just doesn't want to deal with that, so they're throwing her out of the game. Then we do have a ban from Mono Esports on Vladimir. Vladimir, that is a target ban to Sol. Sol's known as one of the best Vladimirs in North America. He just does such a really amazing job on Vladimir. I know I've been scared a few times facing against him because he's so confident in his play. He knows exactly what he's capable of, and that's what you'll see with these top players. And we do have an Olaf ban going out by EG. Olaf, a decent pick that has been proven to be used quite a bit after his buffs from the last patch. And then Kennen being banned from Mono Esports. That might also be a ban targeted towards Sol. Sol is also a good Kennen. They just want to get away that team comp, the AoE from Vladimir and Kennen, just so strong if they're used together. So the Mono doesn't want to deal with that. They're getting rid of that completely. And of course the last ban coming out from EG as Shen. Shen, of course, used in every single game, sort of like Janna, just 100% ban and used. The first pick from Mono Esports. Wow, interesting enough, they're coming out with their mid lane right off the bat. That's something you don't really see. Cassiopeia can get countered here. She doesn't really have any champions that are just hard counters. Ryze does do well, and Ziggs does do well, yet we do see the Ziggs coming out, and now most likely be played on by Sol. So EG following up with their support and mid lane pick. They don't need to pick their AD, their top, or jungler, because they're just going to match the mid lane pick, as mid was already picked by Mono Esports. We do see a Nunu pick now being put out, so we might see a Nunu cog like Curse ran in the last game. Just so much utility from that composition. Nunu is able to slow and stun with his ultimate in the bush. Not really a stun, but sort of a, I mean, you would be stunned walking into the bush to find a Nunu in a full ultimate. Just so much damage. But it looks like we Nunu Caitlyn. Nunu has also the ability to use Blood Boil, so he can speed up his AD for the aggression and also for the escape. It gives a little bit of a movement speed, so they do have a lot of utility around lane. You don't normally see the Nunu Caitlyn coming out, but I think Mono has practiced that some bit, so they're going to be rolling that out. They are running with one heal, but those summers might change. We'll go over that in just a bit. Following up with the picks and picks for EG, we do have Mashme locking in that Urgot, not wasting any time, so it looks like he's pretty confident about his Urgot pick. Clicking on his view profile, let's check his match history to see if he does only have one Urgot pick from there, and rank stats, he does have a 60% win ratio on Urgot, so not one of his top known picks. It might be something he's practiced quite a bit. He is extremely strong with Graves at 75% win ratio, and he might be picking that Urgot to, okay, looks like that is going to be... Okay, that Eve is going to be a Nautilus hold. So, Nyat doesn't have Nautilus. And that's normally what Eve is used for in these tournament picks. So it's going to be Urgot and Sona on the bottom lane versus a Nunu Caitlyn.
Hot.
I'm interested to see how Mashme does on Urgot. Urgot, of course, used in Hanover, Germany, just able to build sort of tanky and ult himself, usually ulting one of the carries into the enemy team and can follow through with a flash out of there, or just building tanky where he can sustain the damage and survive a little bit longer than the carry that he ults. And I did not get a chance to check the last picks out there because I was focusing on
Nocturne, Udyr, and then Riven.
Nocturne, Udyr, and Riven. Okay, so we're going to have a Nocturne jungler, as we saw last game from Curse, just so strong, able to synergize those ganks. And it looks like we do have that bug rolling out here from the LoL client. It does happen every now and then. Just wait with us patiently, guys. We'll get this game started just a second.
Clicky dumb. But yeah, it was Udyr Nocturne the last picks here for Monomatic, and it was that Riven last pick for EG. Okay, that looks better.
Alright, so we're going to have Westrice running his famous Riven top lane. That is pretty scary. Westrice's Riven is really, really, really good. He is known in solo queue for when he's rolling out that Riven. He really wants to win that game. He really wants to gain that ELO. And just so scary. So he's going to be doing that destruction top lane. And I think both teams have pretty decent compositions. We should see no delay here from people choosing their champions that they're selected. The bans is rolling out. They're banning whatever. They don't care. They're just quickly going through.
Well, yeah, they're just going to go right through this, but as you did say, that Eve probably sitting there for Nautilus, and bam, 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 lots going down. Now, I'm trying to recall, is Nintendo X a solo mid, or is he their solo top player?
Nintendo X is the jungler.
Apparently he's the jungler, okay. He's changed a lot since I last saw him.
He's played a few different roles. Nintendo is a overall decent player, but I think I've seen him most of the time in the jungler, and yes, he's going to be playing that jungle role this game. So looking at the summoner spells here for both teams, we do have Mashme. Hopefully will change. Not running that Surge is trolling just a bit. We do have an Udyr with teleport top lane. So Westrice on Riven versus Wild Turtle on Udyr. Westrice is running the Ignite, so he's going to be really pushing the aggression onto that Udyr, trying to take the kill. Westrice just probably one of the best and a Riven players that I know of. I don't know anyone that's really been able to impress me as much as he has done. And of course, he moved from the AD role to top lane, where I think he feels most comfortable and confident. Yes, there we see Mashme swapping the summoner spells last second. A little bit scary. Running with the flash. Yep, there is the flash for when he ults and it gets put in a bad position for himself. He'll be forced to flash or tank that just a bit. And he is running the heal. Now, a lot of times you'll see heal run on the bottom lane composition between the two champions, either on the support or on the D. We do see that Nyat and Mashme are both running heal, but interesting enough, if you look at the mastery tree on Summoner's Resolve, you do have a lot of times players on the AD choose heal. The reason why they get heal on themselves and sometimes the support gets an exhaust is because if they spec into that Summoner's Resolve, the heal does give them 10% more on themselves. So that is why you see the AD running heal and not always running an Ignite or running an exhaust. Going down for bottom lane, we have both the Nunu and Caitlyn running heal. So we have a quadruple heal bottom lane. That should be pretty exciting to watch. Should be a little bit of a passive lane until those heals are burned, and then we'll see some dedication into committing those fights. Now we do have Nocturne versus Nautilus. Nautilus is a champion that I've seen quite a bit in solo queue as far as the jungle role. He does have the ability to do pretty successful ganks throughout the game. And early on, he does have his passive, gives him that little stun. And then later on in the game, when he's able to throw his ultimate down to guarantee that stun. If a flash isn't burned, then that ultimate will quickly pick up and catch that player, and Nautilus will be able to have a successful gank. So Nautilus and Ziggs mid lane.
What?
Ziggs, Sauce.
You said Nautilus and Ziggs.
Yeah, Nautilus with the Ziggs combo. What I mean, going mid lane. If Sauce throws down his W to get that little kind of stun, Nautilus will be able to fall through. So pretty good composition between the two as far as ganks. Looking to match with the mid lane, we do have Pterodactyl running the Cassiopeia versus that's Sauce on Ziggs, and he does have his Nocturne back on him. So both players have pretty good ganking lanes. Nocturne is going to be able to, of course, choose whatever lane he wants to go, but we should see, I think we will see a passive game at the start here from both teams. Really good strong comps, but none of the teams have a really stronger level 1 than the other team. So we might see some aggression both teams, but purple side we do have EG, and most likely going to be starting at their blue and then going to red. But we are starting the game now.
Yes, indeed we are. So we're going to get this game rolling, guys. EG versus Monomatic after a quick word from our sponsor.
Motherboards are one of the most crucial components when you're actually building your gaming rig. It's going to be building your processor on this, your sound card, your power supply. Everything's going to be tied into this motherboard. So having the motherboard that's able to take care of all of this seamlessly and make sure it's very stable and performance is very important. But working with ASRock, the company I actually work with making my Fatal1ty motherboards with, they also understand that craftsmanship is also very important. I want it to look good and make it, people when they feel it, when they have it, they're like, wow, this is amazing. Then also, they listen to what I want as a gamer. So some of the features that I want on the board, they make it a reality. So for ASRock, for me, it's a perfect fit.
Alright guys, we're now into the game. You can see Monomatic here just going straight out of their gate. But the same idea here for, wow, look at that skin on Nautilus. That's pretty awesome. Phantom Lord, do you think we'll see a level 1?
We might. Normally teams like to play a little bit passive in the early level 1 phase, but we do see both teams coming close together. I do think EG has a little bit of a stronger level 1 team composition, and they're going to wrap around to this bush and wait there in case Mono Esports decides to go up to the top after a few minutes and then wrap around, usually ward the red, and then come back down and sometimes steal the red. But we do see EG creeping in. Is Nintendo going to see this? Yes, he does see it.
Is he going to bait them into it? They're going to go right for it. Cassiopeia, poison going off. QFT getting hit by the bear stance. A little anticlimactic, but yeah, they're just going to back off. But Wild Turtle might be going in for a kill. He's going to take a Sona Q to the face, and Urgot just cannot seem to hit anything, but he's going to get picked on a little bit. A Caitlyn poke, and yeah, everybody will be alright. So now we're just going to disperse to our different lanes, although Monomatic still sticking together very strong here in the mid. They're going to be going for South, but South is going to retaliate by throwing out a little bit of a minefield. Yeah, don't hit that. No, don't hit that. Okay, he gets off. It does look like Monomatic's strong presence in the jungle. Might be going for the blue snipe. And you can see Riven just curving back here to the mid. Udyr is going to be up top, but Riven is coming down. They might actually get outnumbered. Throwing down the ward, we do got the vision, so we can see QFT there with South and Nat. And here's Westrice making himself known. And no steal going down. So business is normal. No kills. Alright. I'll take it.
I'm a little bit disappointed that Matchme's not running that robot Urgot skin. It's just such a cool skin to see. And where's the I believe that's the original one. I haven't seen that one in a while. Normally people have.
That's the normal Urgot skin, yes.
Normal people always have a skin on Urgot. Looking at mid lane, we should see some early aggression here from Salts onto Cassiopeia. Zig's early game is just so phenomenally strong because he does have that passive, which is pretty much additional damage. If he was going to go a 1v1 exchange with his passive versus Cassiopeia's passive and a spell, he would win in that damage exchange. But no, looks like Cassiopeia is going to return a little bit of poison and get him twice now. So Salt's getting zoned a little bit, losing a little bit of health. And oh, look at this. Nintendo is actually creeping in. Clicky D is really low, so is Nintendo going to do anything here? I hope he's going to jump away, and he's going to be fine.
Deep Sea Diver, the big daddy of League of Legends. Not going to go down, but that's alright. 0-0. Still a little bit of a gold advantage coming out for Team Blue. Monomatic, they're up about 400 gold at this point. And, you know, creeps are starting to accumulate, but the scores on Monomatic so far are just really high, at least compared across the board. I mean, 17, 17, 16 to 12 and 10 and 8. So a little bit of an early advantage coming out to them. You can see Wild Turtle up here. He is going to be pushing this lane with a huge creep wave. Going to be trying to deny Westrice all this gold. But, you know, he will at least get that experience out of it. And Clicky D just wandering around, deciding what to do. And he's going to go up top to the golems.
Yeah, he's going to continue with his golems, 2 red, 2 raise, and then most likely we'll be getting a gank afterwards. A great play by Wild Turtle, pushing that lane. Of course, he had a huge wave on his side, so any sort of damage that Westrice did would be returned with a ton of minion attacks onto him. So Wild Turtle decided to back out, and we saw that last game from ProBuilder as well, just being really early. It looks like he's going to take the Wolves here because his top lane is pushed, so he doesn't want to risk any sort of gank, and instead optimize his time by taking Nintendo's jungle. Even though Nintendo is so far away, that camp will most likely respawn by the time Nintendo gets back there.
Well, business as normal, just a little bit of creeping wave. Laning phase, creeps, kills. Now, we did have this Udyr head on back. He's about to finally hit back into the lane, but Westrice hasn't made exactly huge strides. He is going to take a little bit of pressure on top of this Udyr, but that's alright. He's just going to dash on back out. 23 creep kills to 27. Even though Udyr wasn't there for that entire time, he still has the lead. It's pretty ridiculous.
And Salsa's just playing it cool. He's not really making any sort of aggression against this Cassiopeia. Ziggs is kind of known for his poke because he has those long-range bombs that can bounce and do so much further distance than it actually says on the spell. So he's just playing it cool. He's just farming. 31 to 31 mid lane. We have almost even CS. Cassiopeia is returning a lot more poke though. So Salsa's burning through those HP pots and is now on his last pot, whereas the Cassiopeia hasn't even used one yet.
Yeah, it's really hard to out-harass the Poison Queen herself, and Paradoxical doing some fantastic work. I see a lot of people in the chat saying that it's laggy. I don't know what to tell you. All the bit rates look fine on my end, so just hit the camera icon, do the report. Hopefully Twitch TV can do what they can, but we're going to continue on for the VOD. And, you know, it's just still very passive. Bottom lane here for Monomatic heading back, picking up a few Dorans, a few extra wards, and it's all quiet. All quiet in Runeterra.
Mashme doing a good job by freezing the lane there. Look at how he's not deciding to do any additional damage or any additional hits. The reason behind this, he wants to keep the lane there as long as he can, so that he is in the safe zone from any sort of ganks from any enemy jungler. We do have Nautilus on Clicky D here, or Clicky D on Nautilus, I should say. Mid lane trying to get an opportunity, but there isn't really anything going on. Sauce is just playing pretty passively, burning a little bit of his mana pool. Looks like he's going to start possibly pushing the lane, getting some auto attacks onto the back minions, and then taking them down. So it looks like he wants to back. Sometimes the players that do play mid lane and they play passive, they wait till about the 7-minute mark or about 50 CS, sometimes even 30 CS, 36 CS to get their tier or get their double Durans. But he just pushed the lane because they knew his blue was going to come up soon, so Clucky D signaled to that, and Sulse is going to... No, he's not going to give it to Sulse. Clucky D is going to take it, So Salsa's just there, being a bro, helping him out. And Nautilus is going to continue on.
There's absolutely nobody in the mid lane right now. Absolutely nobody. Bottom lane.
Both players backed off.
Yeah, it's just very passive so far. I mean, we've had 2 very aggressive games in a row, and now we're kind of a little bit taken aback by the passivity here. But, you know, we got $5,000 potentially on the line, so they want to make sure that they do this right, not going to rush anything. And, you know, haste makes waste, so they're not going to be doing that. I don't know, we're just going to keep creeping up. I mean, we got 55 kills here, 56 for Udyr, and it does look like Riven has gone back to those double golems, and possibly more, because she's not going back to lane, although maybe she will be going here with Claky D for something, but it's going to be very hard to take out an Udyr that close to his tower.
Westrise now coming back to the lane top with Nautilus. Westrise did not decide to back and get full HP, so he's sort of baiting with that little bit of HP in there. Udyr walks into the bush. We do have Westrise popping his ultimate. There's the ignite onto Udyr. A wonderful grab from Claky D, and Westrise takes the first blood. Ziggs did throw, Salsa did throw a ult there to seal the deal, but it was not needed. And a wonderful gank there from Claky D and Westrise working together. But it looks.
A summoner has been connected.
Oh.
Yep. Sup, Nintendo dude. Well, welcome back to the game. Yeah, that anchor. I mean, that anchor secured the kill right there. And now you can see Claky D's like, roar! And Paradoxial, whoa, actually going to get hit by the anchor again. Now we do got the minefield coming out here from South, but not exactly primely placed with bouncing bomb going to go out. But Claky D, he's pretty decently healthy at this point, even after an exchange after that. Now Nintendo dude is back into town, so he's going to start doing his normal jungle route, but you can see the advantage now coming out here for Team EG.
Yeah, Nintendo was DC'd for quite a bit. Look, he's level 4,
yeah,
and Nautilus is level 6, so it's going to be some time for him to back out. It's really unfortunate, especially since Westrise has first blood top lane. So as we've said in our previous games that we commented, it's so important for that top lane to get that early advantage as soon as possible, so that the jungler does not have to spend his time up there and instead can spend his time bottom lane, around Dragon. And if the enemy team does contest it, the enemy jungler will be there to possibly get a smite still and just respawn as soon as possible instead of ganking top lane.
So Nintendo dude now has himself blue, does not give it to his mid, but she is running triple Dorans at this point, and now going for an amplifying with a sight ward. So our Cassiopeia, she's doing, you know, quite fine at this point. Mashmi's all alone down south, and we are going to take this opportunity to zone him out. He's rocking the double Doran's blades, but so is that Caitlyn. And again, you know, we see what we typically see. This top lane just starts winning and landslides. We got that Wriggles again. 10 minutes, not exactly that 6 minute we saw last game, but Udyr with Wriggles, especially against Riven or Irelia, you know, something very Olaf even. You know, we've seen Udyrs do very well in these roles.
Take a look at top lane. We have Westrise taking down that minion to let Nautilus walk in. This last minion will fall and the vision will fade, so Nautilus can creep towards the next bush. And Walter is going to have no idea here. Nautilus does have the ability to grab. There is the grab, but he misses. Instead returns with his ultimate, and Walter is going to have so much damage applied to him. And Westrise will finish up the kill with his ultimate, and that tower will indeed fall.
Yeah, Westrise now up 2-0 in that lane. In fact, the only 2 kills on the board is on top of that Udyr, so this is quite the turnaround to our normal viewing pleasures. But look at this down here. Mashmi keeping this lane away from the turret, gets a little bit of a heal up, but that's okay. There's no one there to badger him, so good job freezing that lane. And now a tower under EG's thumb, so they're up about 1,000 gold at this point.
Yeah, Westrise is going to start to be really scary. 78 CS to that Udyr at 80 CS, but he does have 2 kills on top of the Udyr. We might see Westrise back out by and start to head toward Dragon here, where we would see a contest, but we do have Cassiopeia coming down.
Beautiful
I think, yeah, Celso does know that. He does have sight on it. Always smart to follow your lane. If your lane does leave and you have vision on it, you should follow, unless you can push the tower right away and possibly take that tower down to really low health.
We got a ping on the mid, but there's no Ultimate coming out here from Nintendo. He is level 7, so he does have it. It does look like maybe a dragon instead, so no ganks. But yeah, Nintendo coming back in. He was like level 4 just a few minutes ago. Now he's up to level 7, so he's playing a decent amount of catch-up, but I don't even think we know that a dragon's going down. Westrice going to come in here, land on top of the trap, and that will be the first dragon down at the 12.5-minute marker. Paradoxical, however, taking huge amounts of damage, but she just turns around, tries to get the revenge, but the Ziggs ultimate just so much damage, and South actually levels up mid-ignite. Get himself 90 hit points, so well done on his part. Does not go down, picks up a kill, so yeah, I hope that made the dragon worth it.
Great play by Sulse, recognizing with that ward that Cassiopeia was going to run that direction. Paradoxical should have... Oh, look at this bottom lane. What is going on?
This Clanky D just sitting here chilling. No problem. The net comes out from Caitlyn, so we're going to just toss ourselves onto Pixel. Pixel getting really ridiculously CC'd. We had a Sona ult as well as the Urgot, so we're going to pick up another kill for Epik Gamer. Now, we do have Wild Turtle here, but he's grossly outnumbered, and I don't care how many levels you got. 3-on-1 at that point, it would not be in your favor. So he's just going to head on back. Westrice free farming up top, and he has himself how many creep kills? 90 creep kills to 104 here for Udyr. So Udyr's still in the head with those creep kills despite never being in lane.
Yeah, that was such a hard CC there onto Pixel. 3 ults almost at the same time. We had a Nautilus ult, a Urgot ult, a Sona ult, just so locked down. Was unable to do anything, and Nautilus did a great job there. Clicky D not really going in right away, just sort of sitting around, and then he popped his ultimate because he knew his teammates were coming close by. So there's a lot of body language in this game, whether or not people see it, especially in the laning phase. If you're doing something where you're just like farming the lane and not really being aggressive or poking at all, and then all of a sudden you change and start being aggressive, that usually signals to the person in your lane that, hey, you know, the jungler is there and that we're going to try and gank you. So normally what happens is the player just backs off and then is able to, you know, not die from that possible gank. But for players that do kind of switch it up, go back and forth, or keep being continuously aggressive and then all of a sudden play passive, and you know, it goes both ways, but the players that are able to change that up do give themselves the advantage, because you're basically not giving the enemy player information, so they can't respond accordingly, because they don't know what's going to happen.
Nintendo X coming up from the bottom, right through the bush, landing on top of Nat Nugent, and he is going to be dropped into this Caitlyn. So finally a kill on the board here for Just Usual. Or sorry, not Just Usual, Monomatic Esports. Yeah, they've already played. But Monomatic finally getting a kill on the board. That's going to bring him up to a 900 gold deficit, so that was a great gank right there. Oh no, I missed the mid, but Clanky D, well, he is Big Daddy. Yeah, they're going to take out the Medusa, and now it looks like they're going to be taking out a nice blue buff.
Yeah, good play there by Clicky D, ganking onto that Cassiopeia, just really taking as much advantage as he can for his team. Ziggs, of course, doing a strong job mid lane. Sulse has just done so much well. He just hasn't really been that aggressive and just really picking the fights. And as you see, he's just farming like a boss right now. Ziggs is just so strong at taking those Wraith camps. He can just throw his E over, as we'll see here in a second. And then his Q for taking that Wraith camp in just a second. That's what makes a lot of times the mid lane AP so strong, as they're able to take those camps and continuously farm and farm and farm and just snowball the advantage into having more gold and eventually being much stronger than the opponent you're facing in the lane.
Yeah, it's good times. It's always excellent to watch Ziggs just take out those wraiths, especially with that passive. I like how that just synergizes so well to take that out in one combo. But he is rocking 145 creeps. It is the most in the game. Actually, now we're tied for the most in the game. Caitlyn picking up quite a few dollars to her number, and looks like she's going to be heading back to town. What do you think? IE? Wow, the BF sword IE.
Could be. She's for sure going to build a bit. Yeah, as we see right there, the BF sword. But it might be a rush to an Infinity Edge. I don't know, as she does have that Vamp Scepter. A lot of ADs want to just have that Vamp Scepter in their inventory and not really build it into anything. And actually, sell it as the last slot. So when you go to end game, have that Venom Scepter, you sell it out, and then sometimes even build it to a Bloodthirster. So the Venom Scepter is just there to sort of allow you the ability to build into different items based on what's happening in the game, based on how your lane is doing, how your team is doing, how many dragons you're getting, and so on and so forth.
Now, I have seen, I think, a total of 3 Urgots today, and this is the first one rocking himself a Manamune. I've always seen them go more tanky with a Brutalizer for the cooldown, so the Frozen Heart and the Brutalizer. But here we go, we're going to be jumping on top of Caitlyn. We're going to be stopping that ultimate from Pixel. And actually, Caitlyn somehow getting into an awesome position way in the back as Nintendo X comes on in here. Takes a little bit of a punishment, but from what looked like a certain kill on top of Caitlyn, turns right around, and, you know, EG just kind of backing off a little bit there. We got Ziggs coming in. I think that was blocked. It looked blocked. Smash Me not going to go down to anything. Now Caitlyn does not have that pick-off tool that she does like to see. We also have Cassiopeia in the wings, but nothing's going to happen there. And Westry is going to be putting up some big pressure up top, knowing that the rest of the team is nowhere to be found.
Ichi did a good job there backing out. They didn't really commit to that after that flash was blown on Caitlyn. They did not have any wards on the dragon area or the ramp to dragon for Mono Esports. So they didn't know where that Cassiopeia was, and they backed off and made a good decision because she could have been there. She actually wasn't. She was in base, but if she was, you know, that team fight would have turned out a lot differently, and Mashi would have been blown down. So they're going to start hitting dragon here, trying to take this really quick, but Clicky D is right there, and no, Mono Esports gets the dragon, and Clicky D doesn't get his grab on. So they're going to walk away with that, with a free dragon. No pressure almost, well, just a little bit of a damage exchange. Clicky D did not have his ultimate, so he couldn't really do anything. I feel like Salt should have been a little bit further in by throwing his E and ultimate on just to drop some damage, but they did not have the call most likely, and Mono Esports walked out of that with the free dragon.
And that's the second dragon to their name. So despite being down 5-1 in kills, they are, you know, still within 1,000 gold here. It's about 700, but it fluctuates. About 1,000 gold difference. So they are staying, you know, really competitive. Wow, that was an ultimate coming out of Cassiopeia, and unfortunately just not chasing anything up with it here on top of South. South had no help nearby, and Nintendo does not have an ultimate, so a little bit of a misread there. But hey, we still got some poison on him. He's level 14. He is rocking the levels very nicely, but we just had an anchor come out here from Clicky D, so this will not be anything commit worthy. A little bit of a freeze there, but hello Westrise, what are you doing here? Nintendo X taking some big deeps with the Ziggs ultimate, landing squarely on top of the Snake, and that's going to be a quick 2-0, because Clicky D is not going to be letting her get away. Bam, there we go, but Udyr was able to take up Ziggs, so not exactly 2-0, it's going to be 2-1, and Udyr still coming down, trying to figure out where Clicky D is going to be going. He is really low with that Ignite, but he is kind of a really big tanky individual, and Wild Turtle going to be looking for it. He is going to find Westrise, stuns him. Clicky D going to be wandering over, waits for the turtle stance and the bear stance to finish off. And Udyr is just going to have a 2 versus 1. No problem. Nat Nugent coming in. Here comes the Mash Me. He's going to be throwing out lots of damage. Pixel in the bush. They cannot see this ultimate, but it does not land on anyone that they wanted to. The heal goes off for Westrise, but it's not going to be enough to heal that Urgot because he is going to be dropping. And now Westrise as well. So Monomatic really actually, I think, bringing the pain in that. I think they won that 2-3 or 3-2.
Yeah, that was a really sort of interesting turn from how that started with the gank onto the tower to get that Cassiopeia down. Clicky D did a phenomenal job being patient. He was deciding to be in that bush, but actually went through, turned onto Udyr, knew that Nyat was coming. Nyat was most likely communicating on vent, saying, hey, I'm coming, I have heal. And Clicky D jumped to the wall, so close to death, had that heal from Nyat, and was able to survive from that. Salt's throwing an ultimate top lane to clear that wave. That's always fun on Ziggs. Yep.
Oh my goodness, 192 creeps to his name. He is just farming up a storm with that Rabadons. And we had some other big items come out now. Bloodthirster, Will of Ancients, Infinity Edge now on Caitlyn, and Udyr getting that ever useful Wit's End. And I see Monomatic here. They are gathering up for the Baron. They've already cleared out all the wards. They have an Oracles down. And Are they going to be able to complete Baron? I see no movement at all from EG. This could be terrible, but they're going to know what's up because that Udir's down south. Like, oh, great. Look at that. Where'd that come from? And now we are going to be coming up here to try to punish out Westrice. Getting caught between a rock and a hard place. What can Westrice do to get out of this?
I don't know. He just has 4 people in his pursuit. If that fear gets off by Nocturne, then yeah, there's going to be no way. He just is forced to turn around, do damage, and there we go. He falls down. Westrice just cannot do anything. But bottom lane, wow, Mashme being destroyed by Wild Turtle. Just Wild Turtle with that Baron, you know, has the additional stats from the buff, is able to get his combo off, and most likely just slowed the Urgot, so he couldn't get anywhere to where he wanted to be. But look, now he's going to go from behind onto Nyat, trying to do a rinse and repeat. Look at all that damage being applied, and Nyat isn't definitely going to fall. But oh, he decides to hit the tower, and Nyat's not dead yet. Okay, there we go. Just making sure. What are you doing?
This is what happens when Udyr kind of comes back from his lane with a few different items. That's very interesting because Westrice and ClayKD was able to keep him down, you know, 0-2, and now all of a sudden he's up 4-1. And another tower coming under Monomatic Esports' thumb. Well, actually, like I said, it's their first tower. Yeah.
Yeah, even though EG has done a great job winning each of the lanes, they've really lost these objectives, losing 2 dragons and that Baron, so they need to start gaining map control. Nyat needs to start roaming around with an Oracle. Of course, look at all of these wards out from Mono Esports versus EG's ward. I believe they only have... EG has 2 wards, and Mono Esports has like 4 wards right now. So they are definitely in control of the map, and that is the reason why they've been taking these dragons and Baron, and now are in the lead. They are in the lead with gold. Wow.
They've tied up the kills. They got 2,000 extra gold to their name. They have a Baron that they're still just ticking down at this point. And we're going to have probably another, at least attempted a kill on top of Westrice. He has to use the triple Q to get on out of that, but he'll be okay. And Wild Turtle is now passing 211 creep kills. The only person rivaling that is Zig, sitting at 224. Now we do have a lot of pings going down. We do have Cassiopeia up here. Everyone is up here except the bottom blue lane. And they might be able to pick themselves up a tower, but ClayKD is going to be going for a kill on top of Cassiopeia. But no, he gets stunned by the Wild Turtle. Ultimate goes out, does virtually nothing. Great flash by Udyr right there. But Paradoxical throws out the ultimate. This hits at least 3 people. And now we do got the flash coming out from him, and the broken wings not quite able to land, but the Ziggs ultimate will be able to knock him down as Cels picks up the kill. And as they did say, check out that bottom lane. They're going to take 1 kill for 2 towers, possibly a 3rd, and this Udyr he doesn't care.
Yeah, if they don't back out fast enough, they're going to get that inhib. Of course, Nuno with that Blood Boil able to speed up, just tremendous. The Nocturne going out. Look, Nocturne is just sacrificing himself, going in to try and interrupt those bees by Mashme and ClayKD, and Mono does get that inhibitor down, so that is a huge trade in their favor for 2 deaths, taking 2 towers and an inhib. Great job there, choosing what was important, and they push bottom lane. Nuno getting an ultimate now. Is Ziggs gonna get it? Salt's gonna get it? No!
Oh my goodness.
He backs out, and wow.
They got Nat Nugent instead.
Destroyed. Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing. In those bushes, you can't see that, and now we're going to be trying to play a little bit of cleanup because nothing real is just dropping. So much damage coming out. He is going to get that flash off. He does have the Blood Boil. Now going to be poking from afar. Cels and Westrice so low, but Mashme doing a good amount of damage. ClayKD not even touched here. He's going to be throwing out everything he can. We do got the Cassiopeia in here, and big damage coming down onto Mashme, so that is not going to be in their favor with the double on top of Ziggs, as Cassiopeia really playing the real cleanup crew, as ClayKD is still sitting around in here. Westrice is going to be coming back in, going to be trying to get himself at least an assist, but he drops to the Caitlyn, and so does ClayKD, which means that was 4 for 0 for Epik Gamer.
Wow, they just could not take down and focus one target, and Mono Esports did a great job. Each member doing what they're supposed to. Nothing Real did a fantastic job flashing over that wall and staying in the fight, even though he had low HP. Just with that Caitlyn, of course, the AD outputs so much more damage on a faster level than any other role in the game, except for, of course, the burst APs, and he just did so much damage. Mashme tried to follow through but couldn't, and they're gonna get a second inhib here.
Yep. Oh, big Ziggs ult! I saw it go right by my screen, so landing squarely on top of that Caitlyn. Now we do got the CC and the counter. All right.
What?
It was the ultimate from Cassiopeia. It hit him as he used his, so it stopped, and she gets away, and you see the law coming out from Nocturne. So yeah, I guess they both casted ultimates at the same time, because he definitely got turned to stone, and that stopped the channeling. So good times. Yeah, another turret dropping up top to this Udyr. Now 7 turrets to 2 with a very solid 8,000 gold lead. Only 2 kills ahead, but that's what Dragons and Barons can do for you, man.
Yeah, EG can still take back this game. They are not, it's not over yet for them. They do have a Ziggs with 235 CS. Of course, the Udyr has caught up, and so has the Caitlyn. Udyr now has the most CS in the game. So if they just kind of group up and poke someone off, of course, Clicky D on Natos has the ability to ult, and they do have that Urgot to use his ult as well. So if they catch someone and make it a 4v5, they can start to take these objectives. But look, Mono Esports is grouping up as a team, taking Dragon. Usually 190 gold is not really that's important at this point in the game, but they're going to take it anyways, because there's no reason to do anything else other than just maintain their lead, continuously farm. There's no other objectives up. Baron is going to be up pretty soon, but it's not up yet, so they're just going to start to get control over this area. As we see, Nunu is running around with his oracles. He's going to take down that ward that EG has in the Baron pit.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Whoa, taking a big amount of harass right there from South. Good times. Yeah, Drake, yeah, he's right there. I was going to say he should be up within like 60 seconds, but no, he's ready to go. We've cleared out the wards. Monomatic really want to try to seal the deal here, but Westrise does have that Guardian Angel, and we finally have the armor now building up here on top of Mashme. As I said, I've seen 3 Urgots today, all pro players, and they always go for that Frozen Heart, but instead we went for the Manamune today, and I don't think it's actually doing Mashme any kind of favors. He's 2-3. Is pretty decent, but at least, well, compared to the rest of the team, 0-3, 1-1, 3-3. So it's
now
really
look at this position that Mono Esports is in. They have that bottom lane inhibitor and mid lane inhibitor gone. They are going to push on to Baron. So if EG does try to harass this and try to take Baron, they will force themselves over. There's the ult from Ziggs, but Mono does get it, and Clicky D almost getting caught here.
And the Nocturne ultimate not landing on top of anyone, throwing out a lot of harass. We might be able to lose some of our Barons. Yes, we do lose. Udyr taking out that Sona, but Riven going to be grabbing that AD. So without an AD, it's not going to be nearly as much damage. Look at Pixel, who's going to throw out the ultimate. Lands it on top of Westrise, brings them down. He does die. Clicky D dropping as well. Westrise coming back to life with that Guardian Angel, but a Rampage coming out for Paradoxical, picking up the double on top of Ziggs. Now Pixel, poor Pixel, is he not gonna drop? No, he will not, but that will be an ace. 5 for 1. Good game, well played coming out. Look at this creep wave. That's gonna be a Nexus, and this means Monomatic Esports will be moving on to our semifinals tomorrow here in the Fatal1ty League of Legends Grand Finals.
Yeah, they did a really great job there. Losing the early laning phase, Mono Esports paid up great attention to the map control. They're able to take those objectives, which are so important, and Dragon and the Baron, the 2 dragons early on, and then that Baron steal that EG had absolutely no idea about. That Udyr losing his lane top, then had enough gold because of those objectives, came back into the game, and they were able to take the win.
GG, well played. Alright, that means we have Team Dignitas and Just Your Average Joes ready to rock for our last match of the night, guys. I'm pretty excited about that. So we're going to get that rolling. So, guys, Fatal1ty, you are on their stream. We are watching the League of Legends $5,000 tournament. Last match of the night coming up, Dignitas, Just Your Average Joes, FourCourtJester here with Phantom Lord. We're going to get that rolling. But we're also going to go find out who has won the grand prize from the Facebook, and then we're going to do it again. Because Fatality loves you guys. So it's just as good as that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a sec.